Do me a favor and put those over there, little bro. Put them over there with the other one. Alexander. Yeah, I'll look at me like that too, asking me to do that. Yeah, I know. I'll get it. Oh, I'm tired. Magnesium. What is this? How did you get a potato chip? I mean, a tortilla chip. You don't want to eat it. Leave stuff alone. How'd you get that? Except for your cat food. Oh, the bird. I was about to say, what you sitting up for? You crazy. My little jefe. Oh, excuse me. Oh, God. They got a few of them out there. Get you one so you know what cholera is, typhoid, all the different diseases that you can get from drinking water, because they have weakened everybody's immune systems. So what you see me doing is, for a week and a half now, I've been loading up on zinc, magnesium, and when I'm talking about plant-based stuff, the stuff that I'm using is plant-based. Zinc, magnesium, copper, and zinc, I kind of do every other day because it makes you a little nauseous. That's why you got to have something in your stomach. You got to eat something. Colloidal is all right, but you want chelated. Chelated is absorbed a little better. Colloidal's not a problem. It's just, to me, it's not as good, in my own opinion. Okay, in my own opinion. But then after like the end of this week, I won't do none of the metals for like a week or maybe a week and a half to make sure my body absorbed it and is functioning appropriately. I want to go get blood work, but my buddy who draw blood, Air Force guy, and he can test it. He's got the little centrifuge, you know, and he's got the thing to be able to read the charts. He's out of town for a little bit, and I don't trust the VA. I don't trust the needles. I don't trust nothing they have. I don't recognize this government. I don't recognize any of it. You know, whenever you fill out a form and they ask you, "Are you a U.S. citizen?" No. I put, have you denied your U.S. citizenry? I put like, no, I never was one. You know, it boggles my mind how scripted in they are. And they pay attention because they change stuff to fit the narrative of what they're learning from everybody. And that's not legal in any way. Now, they would have you believe it's legal because many people are debating and arguing with them. I always say, if it's not constitutional for the republic, about the public and by the people, it's no standing in law. You can't just make up rules on the fly and they're not to be obeyed, to be resisted. So that's why they had a 20-year war, and they're bringing a lot of foreign nationals in. Now, do I think every one of them are problematic or troubled? Couldn't say. I'm not worried about that. What I'm talking about, look at your own children, your own young ones, and how they're carrying on and acting. I mean, that should allude to something. And if they're willing to act that way, and then people that get in a costume and go to a briefing and learn to hate their own existence, if you're that well groomed, you know. Now, the enemy knows this, and maybe a few of you know this. A lot of them, they're going to be destroyed. I'm not talking that fire, brimstone, Hebrew on the corner bull nonsense. But the truth of a story is, a lot of them are going to be walking wayside after starting to commit heinous crimes, and they're going to drop. They're just going to drop. Let me tell you something. They've got all kinds of chemicals. They know what's been done in the past. They have absolutely no clue. And they have enough non-believers. I'm not talking about, first of all, unbelieving anything, but when I say non-believers, non-knowledgeable, non-knowing. And it's not going to be a whimper or anything. It's just going to happen. And it's not good. There's no return. There's no comeback. There's no going another body. There's no all that. You need to speak that. You need to believe that. You need to know that. I'm going to go ahead and get in the reading. Turn this off. And we're going to read. I'm tired, y'all. Like I said, I got about 4 hours, 1.5 hours of sleep. Weird, I was very tired. I figured I would have slept real good. This one came up and went that meow at about 1. I knocked his butt off on the floor. He didn't come back up at all. I wasn't being mean. It was like body dynamics. I had told him twice before, no. Woke me up, no. I was able to go back to sleep. He came at 1 o'clock. I remember just going, whoop. I went back to sleep. I still woke up at like 4:30. So I'm pretty tired. A little light walking. I want to get a good walk in and may be a good walk, and I lay down and close my eyes for about an hour or so. We'll see. I mean, I could be up all day. I mean, I'm fine. It's just that I am tired. I'm not gonna sit here and lie. Let's go ahead and get this reading in. Let's go ahead and kill this right quick. Okay, we're gonna start back off yesterday where we left off, and the other ones that I didn't read, the other two, DNA of the Gods and Exposition, we'll finish that off, and then I'm gonna come back later on and I'm gonna do Woman of Lemuria and the Covenant. So let's go ahead and get back into George Jones, An Original History of Ancient America, which I really enjoy this book. Actually, I do. I like the history of knowing about the lands. And regardless of whose interpretation, I'd rather be out there myself, seeing it for myself. But at the time that I went to some of these places, I was in the military, even if I was on leave, you know what I'm saying? And to see these places, you with knowing, it's different from those who go there like tourists and they believe, oh, it's my land, blah, blah, blah. No. You can't belong to something in an identity that never existed. There's no way, regardless of how people feel. So anyway, let's go ahead and get into it. George Jones, An Original History of Ancient America. When we last left off, we were right at, and I wanted to continue on from here, for capital and ornament on the summit, perhaps originally an emblem of the sun. Remember that in brackets, in parentheses? And that was discussing as far as the diameters and everything of the obelisk in front of St. Peter's of Rome being the same as that, of the temples in South America, and the individuals that were dismissing it, Stephens and one other individual. Anyway, would give this single column an altitude of 60 feet. And that was with an exclamation mark, not question. This is a circle and not square column, and the foregone architectural analysis is not given by Stephens, but we have taken as a basis the rude ground plan given, and have thus resuscitated. Don't sit down somewhere. Resuscitated the colonnade of Uxmal, which formed the approach to the Great Temple. So you would think like Egypt, walking down that long path, the gods of Egypt, you know what I'm talking about? To, you know what I mean? The wonderful, mysterious place. Mysterious to us because we weren't there. It's within our DNA, but it's a far reach. On the map of the ruin, now under consideration and directly beneath the round pillars, is written the following sentence by Stephen himself. To illustrate the meaning of the circular dots on the plan, the words are remains of columns. Now here we go, bullet point. Upon the preceding principle for the convenience of reference, we have produced the following, and we predict, this is by Stephens, should any other cities or ruins be discovered in Yucatan, that they will possess the same general characteristics and consequently will not injure this history, but will rather tend to support it. No, this is by Stephens, excuse me. That was the individual, George Jones. My apologies. Restoration of the Temple of Uxmal, Yucatan. First terrace, 640 feet long on each of the four sides, 5 feet high, steps, and center on the several sides. Now, so you know what I'm talking about. Y'all know what the pyramid looks like, right? Okay. First platform is 20 feet broad. Second terrace, 600 feet on each side, each of the sides 15 feet high, and steps also in center. Second platform, 205 feet to base of third terrace, and third terrace 400 feet at base. I'm just going to read roughly a few of these because we know what Stephens was doing. Here he was giving you a literal diagram, the sizes, the graph of what they look like, and it's easy for you to Google. All right, Google it. All right, that's the Temple of Uxmal, Yucatan. Third platform is 30 feet to the front of the temple, and all the terraces are cased with cut stone. And the facade of temple, 320 feet, walls to first cornice, 25 feet high, 3 doorways center, 8 feet 6 inches wide, 8 feet 10 inches high. And the two, what are you doing in the window, bro? 2 lateral doorways, the same height as the center, and 6 feet 6 inches wide. Then it goes on to the colonnade and it finishes off with the rest of what we know what it looks like. It's been used in cartoons, movies, and everything. Now, how can he then reconcile from his own descriptions that not one column has been found, yet he describes it plainly? It's if it says he, this architect, if why do you do like this? I don't want to correct people's writings, man. Take your time when he's writing these books. If I believe he says this architecture had been derived from the Egyptians, so striking and important a feature, for example, circular columns, would never have been thrown aside. Well, then the important feature has not been thrown aside. And consequently, from his own reasoning, the architecture was, in parentheses, conjoined with the pyramidal basis, Stephen's own words, derived from the Egyptian, his own words. And yet he would sit here and dismiss the truth of this. We believe distinctly that the architecture was derived from, in other words, borrowed from, the edifices of the Nile, but not built by the Egyptians themselves. In regard to another branch of art, he commits himself in the same manner as when writing of architecture. That's all I wanted to read. You see, if you want to change history or the narrative of history, the first thing you want to do is you want to dismiss anything that can lead. If you want to make every bit of history in different places separate and create a separate world, obviously you didn't belong to that world. And secondly, what purpose does it fit? What purpose does it fit? You know, we think that the dumbing down started with the Johnny Rockefeller and OSS, right? No, it's been going ongoing things since every war. Otherwise, the Ashkenazis, which we'll get back into in Arthur Koestler's, would not have been able to usurp the world into this phonetic that we're in. This majority of people in the government, I don't care if they claim to be Spanish, this, that, Irish, whatever, or Ashkenaz, or the offspring. And then there's you know what boule really means? There are those who sit comfortable in the corner, in the seats of the liars, if not a proponent to, hand in hand, while they further push division and everything else with the little, I don't want to say secret societies no more, but the little groups that have hidden themselves away so well. Okay. And that's the reality. If you take the time to go back and look at all the black and white 8mm movies, which are digitized, YouTube or whatever, archives, and pay attention to every name, whether it be Bilderberg, you know the names. There's going to be a plethora of them. You'll see who's writing the narrative, and subtly how they immerse themselves to do so. And it's always with a dollar, a fiat, or a position, and whether it be Congress or whatever they want to call it, and the printing shops they took over from our people. Oh yeah, that history's there. It's still there before they remove that. So let's get into Arthur Koestler, the 13th tribe. And for those who are new here, who have been here, they committed suicide, him and his wife. Okay, we'll leave it at that. All right. I didn't mark this because I really didn't want to mark this book, you know. It kind of sucks to be marking stuff on this one. Anyway, when we last left off, we was at the chattel, talking about the chattel. To the specific features should be added the pagoda style. So that's where we're at now. We left off at Cashapp, which were probably the prototypes of the Polish chattel. To these specific features should be added the pagoda style of the oldest surviving wooden chattel synagogues, dating from the 15th and 16th centuries. You know what the pagoda style is, right? When you talk about the Orient, as far as the narrative goes, okay, which is totally different from both the native style of architecture and from the building style adopted by Western Ashkenazis and replicated later on in the ghettos of Poland. The interior decoration of the oldest shtetl synagogues is also quite different from the style of the Western ghetto. The walls of the shtetl synagogue were covered with Moorish arabesques and with animal figures characteristic of the Persian influence found in Magyar Khazar artifacts, and in the decorative style brought to Poland by Armenian immigrants. The traditional garb of Polish Jewry is also of unmistakably Eastern origin. The typical long silk kaftan may have been an imitation of the coats worn by the Polish nobility. And there are pictures, I've got to pull them back up. I didn't save them. Over here, we had the same pagoda-style buildings. They destroyed those in the war. Oh my goodness. They literally targeted them to eradicate them from this history. You could figure out why. Anyway, by the Polish nobility, which itself was copied from the outfit of the Mongols in the Golden Horde fashion. Golden Horde fashions travel across political divisions, but we know that kaftans were worn long before that by the nomads of the steppes. Remember, I asked y'all to look into the steppes? You might be able to find the Hatak people that came from here, that traveled the world during right before the fall, handing people scrolls on how to fight and what to do as far as the children and who to put away and how to store and how to hide them. It's real talk. They went to the Anu Islands. They went to the last of the Ming Dynasty before the Mongol invasion. They went to the Caribs, the Hawaii, the Andros Islands, all those places. These Hatak people came from here. They were like what you call shamans or message carriers. I can't remember exactly what they were, but that's something close in relevance to who they were. They went even over to what they call Africa, Ethiopia at the time. They all over, and they were being chased, hunted, and they were great fighters. They weren't the average type of people. Very fierce. Some say that they went underground and they just haven't come back up. And they're able to hide themselves. Some say they went to what's called the North Pole, and they stand there with a grand army, unknown, untouchable, beyond the wit of all things, waiting for us, the few. And when they come out, anyway, I have a story to tell. Now, the skull cap, the yarmulke, is worn to this day by the Orthodox Ashkenazi and by the Uzbeks and other Turkish people in the Soviet Union. On top of the skull cap, men wore the strimel, an elaborate round hat rimmed with fox fur, with the Khazars copied from the kask, or vice versa. I actually used to wear one in high school. Don't ask, Snoo knows. As already mentioned, the trade in fox and sable furs, which had been flourishing in Khazaria, became another virtual Jewish monopoly in Poland. As for the women, they're Ashkenazis. Women, they wore until the monopoly in Poland. As for the women, they wore until the middle of the 19th century a tall white turban, which was an exact copy of the jolok worn by Cossack and Turkmen women. You see that? Remember we were talking about the Kader, the Kafirs, and all those different people? Those are if you look at Gomer from Yaphet, all the relatives, okay? Anyway, one might also mention, nowadays Orthodox Ashkenazis have to wear, instead of a turban, a wig made of their own hair, which is shaved off when they get married. One might also mention in this context, though somewhat dubiously, the Polish Ashkenazis' odd passion for gefilte, stuffed fish, which is, we call it, I used to eat it, gefilte fish. When I was in middle school, we had this thing in class talking about what is it you will not eat? And I was known as a person that would eat anything. So the teacher being an Ashkenaz, is there anything that you wouldn't eat, James? Are you sure? I says, no, I could pretty much eat anything. I was a young kid, my tweens. She says, well, I'm going to bring you some gefilte fish. I said, what's that? She said, it's a fish. It's kind of gelatinous in a jar. And I tore that. It tastes like chicken broth or chicken soup. I tore that stuff up. And it became a favorite of mine for a minute. Whether mackerel or whatever, I don't know, mackerel. I think I forget. It's been a long time. A national dish, which the Polish Gentiles adopted. Without fish, the saying went, there is no sabbatical Sabbath. What is derived from distant memories of life on the Caspian, where fish was the staple diet. Now, life in the shtetl is celebrated with much romantic nostalgia in Ashkenazi literature and folklore. Now, this is all their stories. This is not the ancestors of our people. Okay? Thus, we read in a modern survey of its customs about the joyous ways its inhabitants celebrated the Sabbath. Wherever one is, he will try to reach home in time to greet the Sabbath with his own family. The peddler traveling from village to village, the itinerant teller, shoemaker, cobbler, the merchant off on a trip, all will plan, push, hurry, trying to reach home before sunset on Friday evening. As they press homeward, the shams calls through the streets of the shtetl, use to the bathhouse. A functionary of the synagogue, the shams, is a combination of sexton and beadle. He speaks with an authority more than his own, for when he calls Ashkenazis to the bathhouse, he is summoning them to a commandment. So that tells you they attempted to play who our ancestors were, and be the gods they never were meant to be. Remember that. It's important that you remember this. If you choose not to, you don't have to. It's on you. I would advise you that when I read like books like that or anything like that, Enoch, the Giants, Nephilim, whatever, to allow your voice to sing out, to allow yourself to see something different, because you got to remember we're dealing with perversion, and because most people have been grafted or conditioned not to see it that way, because what did they do with Charlton Heston and Liz Taylor and all these individuals, Mickey Rooney? They had them play these so-called biblical characters to engrave nonsense in your head that had nothing to do with our truth. Does it say that things didn't happen? I believe things did happen, but not as the way they've been portrayed. Not at all. Does it mean that they did it to have us get to a point where we become dismissive of it after we've been? It's a possibility. Yet, the more we start to see, we realize that the majority of it is complete hogwash, or if not, it's based on hundreds of thousands of years ago. Reinvented time, probably again and again, probably every 5,000 years, 5,000 or 5 millennia. I'm just only suggesting this. All right. Maybe less, maybe more. Okay. Did you get your? I'm sorry. My apologies. Anyway, let's go ahead and get into our Behold the Pale Horse. These are the last three we left off yesterday, and we're going to go into the next from here by William Cooper. Okay. I did show this one. Yeah, I did. I showed you Arthur Kessler, 13 Tribe. Okay. So let's go ahead and hit Mr. William Cooper. Just to let you know, that's him right there. Okay. Gunned down by agent provocateurs of the underground, or by people who wanted to get a free trip or something in Arizona. Let's go in. You ready, guys? Now, we're still dealing with the HR 407 and 4079 and FEMA. So, yesterday we left out the political or religious doctrines, and that means are for you to have adherence to. But let's look a little further into the type of program that the LEAA is paying for through the Department of Justice, to which we've already learned what that is, law enforcement agency, blah, 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 right? And Snoop put that up there last week. Anyway, so through the Department of Justice, the Federal Bureau of Prisons, located in the backwoods of North Carolina near a tiny village called Butner, is constructing a mammoth 42-acre research complex for prisoners from throughout the East who will be sent for experiments to test new behavioral programs and techniques. Target date for completion of the entire system is ironically 1984, when I signed up for the military. And so they're using right now under the LEAA program something called anesthetic, ANECLI. Is that anecline? I never heard of that word. ANECLINE. Let me look that up right quick. I never heard of that word. I'm curious when I see a new word, y'all. It's not even just the pronunciation. I really want to see. Yay, James Baldwin, how you doing there, partner? All right. Excuse me. I had breakfast and it made me even more tired, but I couldn't go to sleep. So I was a little bit. Beautiful sun and everything. Okay. Oh, the thing about the teeth in the burger and all that, or in the fries and stuff like that, real, y'all. Stuff I was just going over it just to see if what Snopes said or this, that, and other. No. They already, going back 10, 15 years, proved that human DNA is in. And I got friends who at the gun range, they be going to Burger King, and I be wondering what the attitude's like. I'm like, y'all got to stop eating that stuff. Yeah, man, I just had to give me a Whopper. And I'm like, dude. It's loading. My apologies. And I know I need to get rid of all those tabs. I just can't. I don't want to. There's a lot of information. A lot of information. And that is, again, my apologies. Wow. ANECLINE. ANEC. I think that's an L. It looks like an L or a funny T. You remember those T's the way they showed us in school back in the day? They don't teach people how to make that T now. They look like a J. It's so tight in there. I think it's an L. Let's go ahead and pull it up. I hope y'all don't mind me doing this. Okay. No. No, so that cannot be it. Because they have something, then they're spelling something else. So it's got to be, let me put the T in there, the funny T. Oh, wrong letter. It says something called, and so they're using right now under the LEA program something called anectine. That's a drug? Succinylmethanonium chloride. Brand name anectine. Paralytic. It can relax the muscles during surgery or other medical procedures. Brands Quercetin and Anacin. Availability, prescription needed. Forgive my medical terminology. It's been a long time. I haven't had to use it. Pregnancy, consult a doctor. Alcohol, avoid very serious interactions occur. Drug class, depolarizing neuromuscular blocker. Punishment for troublesome behavior within the prison, like Thorazine. Holy snizzle. So it is one of those funny T's, people. It's very small. So anyway, within the prison is being done by drugs and shock. I have a very good sister I love, and I know a couple other people are still using it. I wish they would stop. They're destroying they're destroying the molecular compounds of how their brains, the synapses fire, and they don't even know it. And it'll make things worse in the long run. Anyway, likely to be the most selected examples of programs that have made use of anectine, a derivative of South American curare, Curi. All right. Anectin was originally used as a beginning factor to electroconvulsive shock. Such shocks applied to the head are so strong they can break and graze bones under the strain of resulting muscle contractions. Since anectin paralyzed the muscles without dampening consciousness or the ability to feel pain, by first injecting the inmates with it, researchers can turn up the voltage as high as they want without cracking the inmate's skeleton when his body is thrown in convulsions by the jolt. That is some sick stuff. What the anectin does, in short, is to simulate death within 30 to 40 seconds of injection. It brings on paralysis first with the small, rapidly moving muscles in the nose, fingers, and eyes, and then in the diaphragm. And I actually saw a video where somebody actually, before they had got electrocuted, I saw real footage, and they was doing this. So that is what they were using. Anyway, and then in the diaphragm and the cardiovascular system. As a result, the patient cannot move or breathe and yet remains fully conscious as though drowning and dying. This from the 1974 publication Human Behavior. That's a book I would like to get. Whoa. Wow. So now they have Thorazine, which is an inhibitor itself, I guess, as the such, to which I remember one time we were ready for the 30-day PTSD thing, and they were like, should we give Mr. Branch Thorazine? I said, if you give me that, I will start killing people in here with my hands, not advocating violence, and they knew I was big, and they were like, and I was not on no crap, and I was like, I heard them say that. I said, you, what? I said, all I want is multivitamins, iron, vitamin C. And that's how I found out I was allergic to Abilify. They gave that to me by accident. I was walking around, couldn't breathe and stuff. I said, what is that? What did y'all give me? Nurse said, oh, well, they have him here. But who said Abilify? What is that? I said, if y'all don't, man, I about lost it up in that place, man. I said, these people are going crazy. Look, they got sick people and working in these hospitals. I don't care how you feel. All right, anyway, next we're going to get into the people versus the conspirators. That is going to be a very good read. All right. I actually have that alone in a PDF. We'll mark that. Why are you jumping in out the window like that? Yeah? Calm your butt. Sheesh. I got my son and daughter always looking at me right there. Those, the youngest two, not the oldest one. Put that over here. I want to look at that again. Let's go and get into the DNA of the gods, the Anunnaki creation of Eve, and the alien battle for humanity. Don't worry, we'll get back to the Garden of Eden and all that stuff. I just wanted to get a little bit of that in there, and the Hathor and all that, because that actually goes together. That's why I'm not reading it. That's a nice cool breeze. Oh, that feels so good. Okay. Oh, I remember I had to look up the name of the rose. I looked up the book. I believe I ordered it, if y'all remember. You guys, you can still, donate a few dollars. We're not there. I mean, what is it, Wednesday? We're not there. I'm not going to order the books until I have the full thing to pay for all of them. I mean, it's up to you. Anyway, let's go ahead. We're at the teachings of the gods. And I don't like marking in this book, so I just did that in pencil so I can erase it. Okay? Yeah. So I can erase it, actually. And my pencils don't have erasers on them. That's the artist for you. Anyway, Inky was the one to put in writing. My apologies. Inky was the one to put in writing his explorations in astronomy as viewed from the Earth, to calculate the inclination of the ecliptic to divide the sky in 360 degrees. Just reiterating, okay? That's where we left off at. It was talking about his younger sons, Nagorl and Damunsi. He's about, I think He's going downstairs. He's going to poop, and next thing he going to be zipping around, y'all, trying to get the cat. I'm about to vacuum kitty litter off his feet. Now, here we are. What about God's teaching humanity? You ready? The role of writing and keeping track of events, the famous scribe function, was the first one Enki taught to earthlings, and namely to Adam, Adapa. We saw the Adapa, Adam, and Titi, Eve. So Titi and Adapa, Titi sounds like aunt, were fathered secretly by Enki with two female earthlings. They had been raised in the house of Enki and his wife, Ninki, who taught Ninki, who taught them many crafts as they would have done to their own Anunnaki children. So doesn't that sound like the fallen gods teaching man and woman, blah, 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 blah? So these fools can have a secret to themselves. Adapa was trained by Enki, specifically in the sciences of scribe writing and mathematics, and knew, being eager to see the marvel, who was the civilized man. And I got this down. Ningishzda. Ningishzda. Yeah, I like that. Took Adapa to Nibiru in a shim. And during the travel, he showed him the solar system and taught him astronomy. Then, after their return to Earth, Enki took Adapa, caught up in a whirlwind, sound like somebody, and Titi to his abode in Eridu, and further taught Adapa mathematics and writing. However, of Adapa's and Titi's two sons, Abel, was taught shepherding by Marduk, and Cain, here we go with the notification, was taught farming by Ninuta. Then happens the rivalry between the two brothers and the murder of Abel, and the exile of Cain, the murderer. In the Sumerian tablets, the rivalry of the brothers is fueled by the favoritism shown by Enlil to Cain, just as in the book. I figured y'all would have looked into that, but I figured when you get here, y'all would be like, wow. Several experts in psychological and psychoanalytical approach to the book have stressed that this favoritism by the male deity caused a chain of family pathologies running up to the present day. Thus, Daniela Kramer and Michael Moore, in their article Sour Grapes, Transgenerational Family Pathology in the Hebrew Bible. Listen to this again now. Thus, Daniela Kramer and Michael Moore, two Ashkenazis, in their article Sour Grapes, sounds like that's what the Ashkenazi are. Anyway, transgenerational family pathology in the Hebrew Bible underline that the outcome of parental favoritism and of unhealthy coalitions is sibling rivalry, leading to hatred and to violence among the children. And they push this. The transgenerational chain of pathologies is traced back to God's differential treatment of Cain and Abel and to the resultant murder. Now, this has created, the authors say, no less than a legitimization of family pathologies by the biblical stories. Now, in diverse occasions, Adapa was also initiated in the Anunnaki secret science and the secrets of their gods. First, during his visit to Nibiru, Anu took a liking to him and bestowed on him some medicinal knowledge that which made him a healing priest, like a shaman, and instructed him in starting a line of priests. Wouldn't that be in the Hebrew text? What tribe would that be? I'm just pointing out how they created the stuff everybody's been indoctrinated in. Well, they slowly been poisoning everybody. Then Enki tutored Adapa beyond various scientific domains in the secrets about the Anunnaki and the planet Nibiru, knowledge that has transmitted to his grandson Inshi, son of Seti and Azura. Now, those who know about Nibiru and this, I forget the man's name, the so-called melanated man, the black man, who wrote that thing about a lot of this, and he said how our our ancestors created the pale skin and gave them rain and would see how they perform. And at a certain date and time, those who partook with them, who assisted them, all of them will be turned upon and destroyed. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm talking about? I forget the name of it. Oh man, it's been a long time. To me, it doesn't sound far fetched. It sounds a little hogwash and a little the black and white. You know. Anyway, according to Sitchin's Divine Encounters, at the sixth generation after Adapo was born, in Madoraki, Inkimi, the biblical Enoch, whose name meant master of the divine tablets concerning the heavens, Megatron. Inky trained him personally in mathematics, astronomy, and Anunnaki secret knowledge, and later Inkimi was taught more astronomy by Marduk, who took him on a journey to see the space station, then to the moon, and finally he was trained and made a high priest by Utu, which is Shamash, like shaman, who controlled the spaceport in the city Sippar. Shamash and Adad showed him how to observe oil and water, a secret of Anu, Enlil, and Inki. They gave him a divine tablet, the Kebu, a secret of heaven and earth, and they taught him how to make calculations with numbers. What? Did you go take a poo? You want to start running around acting crazy? I wish I took a poo that good. It made me get up off the toilet and without wiping my behind and start running everywhere. I'm just kidding. Did you get scared of something, Papa? Hey, little bro. What's up, little Papa? This is. It sounds like Pa, but no, it's Papa. It's my little brother. I gotta go check the mail and I'll grab you one. All right. Standing around the corner with your head looking like you peeking at me. What the heck? Where you get that from? Oh, that's because I do that to him all the time. Exposing the Expositions, 1851-1915, revised 2021. My apologies. I'm welcome everybody. If you're new here and you haven't subscribed, go ahead hit that subscribe button. Hit the notification bell. Everybody always check the notification bell. Invite some friends around. We're gonna keep doing this. I just want to read. Maybe it's good that I'm tired, so I don't be all. I'm just tired of all the nonsense. I deactivated my Facebook account. Next is the Instagram. I'm not too big on those platforms because I know who they belong to and what they've been used for. I guess they've got enough of me, and they can still get it from here. Anyway, this is the revised edition from the 2019 when the fake demic happened to this is the 2021 by Heidi Mikowski. Okay, that's Chicago. They call Chicago. Okay. And let's go ahead and get right into this. Yesterday, the day before, wasn't yesterday, I showed you the so-called statue of George Washington, the bust, looking very Roman-like. This is their George Washington. And I keep telling you, the one they show you is a lie. And I told you that George Washington was a Negro. And this dude right here has got a pretty curly hair, just like Albert Einstein. Did y'all see the? I gotta show y'all this. I was gonna put it as when I talk about him, because a lot of some of y'all know, and a lot of you know by now, that I literally worked at Einstein's building in East Orange, New Jersey, and I got to meet Albert. Excuse me. I got to meet two of the oldest survivors who worked there. And they were the ones that told me he didn't invent nothing. He was a nobody, blah, blah, blah. He was put in there. And they would always say these liars, these fake Jews. Is that exactly what the two individuals would say? I'm not here making it up. And that's where I got it from. And my uncles, who made sure I knew that history was a lie. And they told me, be careful, be quiet, don't go running around, blah, 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 blah. Now I'm going to show you these pictures, right? Real quick. It's not to bad mouth the scorn, but to tell you that history is a lie, regardless of what you may believe or think. And I want to show you the differences. And so much is a lie. I can't wait for Kiramio's he's got something that's gonna show you guys. And I think it's a wonderful thing. He told me I could run, but I'm not going to do that. There's no way. I said it's beautiful information. I kind of knew about it, but I think it's great. Now, this is a Gettysburg image. Uh when I told people that I heard that Einstein used to hot iron or flat iron his hair, I was like, why? Then I realized why. You see all that fro up in there? You see all that fro up in there? Now you see them eyes? Them Down syndrome. Oh, Farrah Fawcett. Yeah, you died of anal. You passed away of anal cancer, and we know why. Now, look at this. If that ain't a nuke, a mulatto. Now, I want to show you something else. Who he remind you of? Yeah, I got a few homies he remind me of. Now, I want to show you his wife. Now, you know she's also one of these conquered people now probably running around, her offspring running around, I'm white, like they something great. No, you're African. Shut up. Now, that's one picture. Look very closely. Now, for those who really pay attention, now look at this. Does that look like the same individual? You can't make this stuff up, people. They do. It's not in us to do this. Okay. Anyway, let's go ahead and get into the reading. Is that pretty crazy or what? None but Negroes. When we come back to the examination of the expositions in America, and in fact the cities themselves, there is no doubt they are mirroring, listen to this, mirroring ancient Rome and Greece. A city like Washington, D.C. includes the Capitol and its dome. Union Station, designed by Chicago builder Burnham, openly stated he designed it to copy Roman buildings. We know he didn't. He was another Ponzi. It's like stealing everything to claim something to rewrite history. Now, the Lincoln Memorial that resembles the Pantheon, and the White House, the obelisk, the Jefferson Memorial, and many more, and we know who repaired them all. Our people did. Why? Why? Anybody can add plaster and change something, whitewash, change paintings, paint over paintings, but who can repair and fix something destroyed because they feel it's an importance to utilize? Wouldn't you bring the builders back themselves to repair and fix them? Anyway, the Jefferson Memorial and many more. A story that appeared on the website Ghost of DC claims that an early estate in the Washington, D.C. area was named Rome. Now, in parentheses, it states supposedly because the owner was fond of Italy. And I doubt it. Soon after, nearby Goose Creek had its name changed to Tiber Creek. Tiber Creek. The Tiber, the main river that runs through Rome. The seat of government in Rome is on the Capitoline Hill, while the seat of government in the U.S. is at Capitol Hill. Add with this the geometric street layouts and mathematical placements of buildings, and one has to wonder what the real purpose and time frame of the building of this city and others like it really were. It's down in Cuba. It's over in Australia. It's in every land. Haiti, Jamaica, South America. Yes, yes, y'all. So-called South America, Canada, Prussia, England, Germany, Greece, even in Africa, Ethiopia. You think I'm kidding? Go and Google them. I think the one in Cuba is bigger than ours. Anyway, Add with this the geometric women in the city and the others like it. Well, anyway, this book has been but an attempt at looking at questions surrounding the period 1800 to 1950 by using the expositions as a model. When you go back and look at images of ancient Rome reconstructed, the expositions of the 1800s are almost a perfect match. I highly speculate that similar people built similar sites as could be found in Rome, Athens, and in the Americas during the same time period. At this point, I cannot prove it, just as historians cannot prove that they were built, as standard history says. Standard history on this time frame just has a 120-year period, I believe it's going to say, if I remember right. Year a head start of propaganda. Yeah, 120 year. That I solidly agree with. Your head start of propaganda on the rest of us. And the point is, we might never be able to prove it one way or another. No, it's proof. We already know. All we can do is examine any narrative that is presented to us and ask the question, can we prove for sure that the narrative is true? Or is it full of holes? Well, we know it's full of holes, and we know that they've lied. Nothing but. So what happened to these expositions? Who were the builders? What type of material was used? And what kind of building technology? How is the native Indian culture related to the history of these exposition cities? More research will follow in these areas, but reached it reached a point where this material could become this book. Perhaps my writing will inspire you to join in researching to find the truth of our history, a truth that seems to have been rewritten during this same period of time. Who are we? Where did we come from? And how we get here? How did we get here? All I can say at the end of this book is not that I have yet to find a definitive answer, but it is clear that the standard story we have been fed is a lie. That much is certain. We may not have the answer, but at least when we can drop the story we are currently weighed down under, but dropping any story, it didn't even have an exclamation point. So I think that drop the story we can currently weighed down under. But dropping any story is scary for the mind. Stories are the foundation of who we are, and where we came from. And that's for them. I can drop a story when I realize it's a lie, like it's a fucking friggin' hot flapjack, excuse me, and look like where's the real story? And search until we find it or we don't. So I'm not that bent. So I think that line right there was to capitulate or capitalize or push you in a direction to make you say yay or nah, didn't get me. To see a story as a lie means we no longer know who we are. No, you don't. That is generally too scary. So too scary. So people will tend, you should have an exclamation mark, want to find truth in any area, then feeling safe cannot be your key focus. Let me read that again because you're missing two. Like, come on, that's not a read on, run on. That is generally too scary. So people will tend to hold on to any story, true or not, to feel safe. Now, if you want to find truth in any area, then feeling safe cannot be your key focus. Overcoming lies and uncovering false must be the focus. As more false is seen through, it can be discarded, leaving room for truth, whatever that may in fact be, to fill the now open space within. Pretty freaking awesome. Tomorrow we're getting to chapter 9, and it's pretty good. And then later on, we'll go ahead and we'll get into the Marian Coven and the Cryon. So, excuse the slip up. That's work in progress. I'm just so tired of what we're seeing in this foolish world and the idiots that play a part and everything else. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna go ahead and shut it down. Run out. I wanted to keep it at 50 something minutes, but I was waiting for everybody to come in. But I'm gonna run out here to the post office, come back, and I'm gonna lay down for at least 45. I want to walk for like a half an hour so I can make sure I'm good and tired and I get my adrenaline up. I'm not gonna eat nothing Sprite, no carbs at least. And get a nice nap. So let me say hi to everybody who came in. Hey Rondo, what's going on, brother? Hey Mikey, Herbo, Big Pontiac, King of Pop, what's going on? When pass away, where do we go? Don't even worry about that. Worry about that you're here and living forever. That's the answer. Hey, West Side, what's going on, beloved? Herbo, big Herbo, Charles Johnson. All right. Don't say that more than one time again. All right, because then I'm starting to think something's wrong here. Charles Johnson, no, seriously. I'm starting to think something's wrong here. All right. It's like the African on the boat and on the bus that I've seen with the Bible talking about big booties. Don't do that again. One time is enough. Respect, brother. We don't do that here. TRU HERU, it's all about the children. And we, all the people in the tribe, know that. So you don't have to do that here. You can do that elsewhere. All right, beloved. Jack, what's happening? Marguerite, that means Grey Wolf better be in the house. Oh, yeah, little thing. This is not even this is just a good one. Rock. Yeah, peace, love, prosperity. I know that's right. What page? Oh, I was reading, trying to attempt to get through it, and it wasn't even popping up because the internet's acting real funky. What's going on with my? It's sitting silent. There we go. All right. I'll get it next time. My apologies. Hey, Andy Rillo, what's going on? Sorry, a little. Oh, that's all right. Oh, and welcome to all the individuals that decide to speak in the chat. Wait till we get a podcast. I would love for some of you guys to come on. Nobody's ever wrong in the podcast. As long no argumentative stuff. We don't tolerate people like certain individuals who do always arguing and fighting and all that because we never can get nowhere. That's what they want, and being stuck in a reprobate mind. So we don't do that here. Now, if you're on medicine or something, cool. Then know your place. That's what I always say, people. All right, I'm not here to harm anyone and bring harm to nobody. There's a way we go about things. I'm glad to see you eating that. I put it out. I was like, it's going to turn brown on me. But with respect, I say this. I truly do. I appreciate you being here, brother. Hey, Lloyd. Grandson had a brief moment of insanity and became a Marine. We're in a brief moment of insanity. He became a Marine, then he's even more crazy. Appreciate that. Snoo. That's my girl. Oh, it's fine. That's what I like, Charles. Appreciate that, brother. T. Hines, you're not late. You're never late, brother. You can always go back and watch it again, share it with people. I think I might have got close to saying that word, so hopefully I didn't. If it came through, let me know. Yeah, James, just slipped up. I'll tighten it down because I really don't want to do that no more. I mean, unless they really get under my gird, then I'm gonna have a moment. I'm gonna tell y'all, and I'm gonna give you the warning. So if you want to come in or not, you know what I mean? I'd rather people come in and I read, you know what I mean? Peace, Bamber. Yes. Appreciate it. All the thinkers. Thank you, Big Pontiac, because that's what we need. We need more thinkers, you know what I mean? And that's what I love. Matthew Moore Copper. Hey, what's going on? Beloved, what's going on? B-Tree. It's good to have you all here. All right, so anyway, I'm going to go ahead and shut it down. It's nothing but love, gratuity, and I am tired. Y'all can see it, right? I am so friggin' tired. And I don't even drink. Look, 72 hours after you quit drinking, your liver regenerates. Everything starts going better. But you need to get some salt bottles to clean your gallbladder out. And also, take care of your gut. If you cook any kind of meat, I don't know what they're doing with it right now, but overcook it. Just overcook it. Put some sage. Get some black Hawaiian ash salt. Rub it in. Let it marinate with vinegar. Just scrub it with baking soda and rinse it off. You know what I'm saying? Just do that. Stop going to these restaurants. I hope you ain't eating no Taco Hell, no McDeath, no Burger Kill, no Chick-fil-A. All right? They stay away from dead and robins. All right, all that mercy killing sugar. 30-something flavors, always with the 3, disrespecting the truth. Okay, carved Zelle, carved hell. Stay away from all of it, y'all. Please. There is an anagram and an anomaly to all this fictional stuff. Do yourself a favor, all right? I saw my brother Matt went to Burger King, came back. He was a little skittish, and then he got back in that mode, and I was like, dude, cook at home, man. Bring it to work. You know, but you work right across from these fast food, Blimpies on the corner, Western Beef House, all these things right there at the gun range, all these things. And the people making it don't even eat it no more. 2 Chinese restaurants. I haven't eaten Chinese ever since I went to that place and I got that shrimp fried rice. And I went back in there because I sat in my truck when I had a chocolate thunder, and I went in there and put it on the counter. And I said, "This is garbage." I said, "I'm not like them other people. I'll tear this place up." And the guy came up. Ooh, I said, "Boy, don't you start fast talking, boy. I'm part Ashkenazi. I'll rip you a new one." He got quiet real quick and goes, "Oh, I get you something." I said, "I don't want nothing from you. Put it back on my card." He didn't hesitate. Put your card. And so I put it in and put it right back on my card. I mean, it took 72 hours, but it was right back on my card. Yeah, I haven't eaten none of that garbage. The Mexican place is going to become a full. Your West Side and Rondo. I don't know if Trauma's in here, but anyway, the Mexican restaurant I took y'all to, the banging one, is going full Korean. Now, I ain't gonna lie, the chicken joint that I like, that's owned by Chinese who I know. They actually know my cousin's family. Like, that's all I'm gonna say to that, all right? And when I come in there, they all come from the back to greet me. If you come there with me, you'll see, like, they all come from the back to greet me. All the time. We're gonna leave it at that. West Side, yo, the chicken's the second best in the country. The second best in the country. You know what I mean? A conniption the first time I heard her say Chick-fil-A. Sue Young out here. Yo. Oh, West Side even went to the place. I didn't even know he was up here when he went to the chicken joint. But the other one is Atlanta ATL chicken wings in Flagstaff. The best chicken wings by far for those who like chicken. And it's small. Real. I can't say who wants to come. I can't say one. You can look it up. I don't think it's the real people, but it's more halal than anything kosher. All right. Love you guys. We tribe up. I respect every last one of you. I appreciate you more than anything. And when I come back, we're going to do American Covenant. Women of I got to look at it again because I'm tired. The Women of Lemuria, but we're going to read the Iron Republic again because I want to get through the Iron Republic because I'm going to read all those other books for an entire set so I can bring everybody back into the fold. For those who didn't go back and look at my other videos where I talk about the man, across the Nos Confoundum, okay, or Flatlanders. Those are good reads. So if you want, you can go back and check them out. But I'm going to read them with the books that were in the book. I'm going to read those in reference to sources outside that I actually ordered, with y'all's help, which I appreciate. Now, most of the books that I'm reading, you help purchase half and half. All right. It doesn't matter whether you get $5, $10, $3, $4, whatever you put, I match, and that's how I purchase the books. Okay. So I appreciate you all. Again, mad love and respect. Let me get out of here. You like the Iron Republic? I know it's pretty awesome. Thank you all.